Hey y'all, I know this lighting is terrible, and as you can see, my cabinets don't have doors. As I said before, I'm in the process of starting to paint them, the cabinets and the doors, and get them back up, so I'll share that with you when I start getting it done. But anyway, what we're going to make is turnip greens, the turnips and the greens, and the first thing you need to do is take your turnips off of the stalks, or not the stalks, but see these thick stems. And so I'm going to put the camera down here, and this is my sink, as I'm sure you can tell. And I'm doing about, well, with the stems it was about 2 pounds, but without I'd say it's about 1 pound. But what you do is get it about right here and pull. And when you get to the part where it's tender enough, this is the rule I use, it'll break off. So you can cook that and eat it. And then you would throw away this part, but I always try to get off all the good that I can. And sometimes I don't keep all of it on there. But anyway, I went ahead and did all that except this little bit so that I could show you. And these are turnip greens, like I said, that I do all my greens the same way. And turnips, or any greens, are really gritty. They're raised or grown right on the ground, and you get all this grit and dirt in them, so you have to wash them over and over to get all that sand off, because if you eat them one time with dirt and grit, you will not like them, and you may not ever try them again. But once I get these off of the stems, then I tear them up into more of a bite-sized piece. You don't have to do that. I just think it's easier to eat them. And it's easy to do. Just pull them apart. And I'm going to wash these until I don't feel grit. Then I'm going to wash them again. So I'm thinking I might wash them about 5 times. I'll just push them around in the water and, you know, just keep on until they feel like there's no grit. Let me wash this out. I'll show you the first time. You see how the, well, I don't know if you probably can see how the water's turning green. But just kind of wash them up, and then take them out and let them drain pretty good. And then I'm putting them in a colander so that water can just drain off through. Then I'm going to empty this water and get fresh water and do it all again. And like I said, when you make yours, make sure that you wash them and wash them and wash them, because you really will probably wind up throwing them away if they have grit in them. So I'm going to go ahead and wash them, and when I get all that finished, I'll come back and I'll show you what else we're going to do. Okay, I have the greens washed, and we're going to go on to the next part of the video, which is getting everything in the pot and letting the greens simmer and cook till they're tender. So I'm going to go back to the pot, and to that I'm going to add, this is 5 cups of water with this chicken flavor bouillon added. There's about 2 tablespoons of bouillon to 5 cups of water. You don't want it real strong, but you do want a little flavor there. So just pour that in your pot. I have about a cup of diced onions that I'm going to add. I'm going to get out of my bacon grease pot, and as you can see, I'm getting low. I'm going to add about that much, if you can see. That looks like at least 2 good, nice full tablespoons, maybe 3. I'm going to add, this is about half a cup of Splenda, because almost everything I cook, I make sweet. Here is my salt and pepper container, and I'm going to add a nice big pinch of salt and a smaller pinch of pepper, just because I don't care for pepper all that much. I like just a hint, but you know, that's just my taste. You add what you like. Also, I'm going to add just a dash of vinegar. I want to say maybe half a tablespoon, something like that. I think just a little bit more. And so now just stir all that up. And I have it on high, so it should come to a boil here in just a minute. But while we're waiting, we're going to have turnips in this as well. And if you don't know, this is a turnip. I have 2, basically this size. One I've already cut up. I've diced it up just like an onion. And I'm going to kind of show you. They're real hard. And you just peel them like you would an apple. This, I don't think that turnips grow with wax on them, but this looks like there's a lot of wax on it. So maybe the company does that to try to make it last longer. I don't know. But go ahead and peel your turnip. If you can make these without turnips in them. It's just your preference if you like turnips. And I just get it peeled. There you go, and that's what it looks like all peeled. And then I slice it into slices like an onion, and then I dice it, which I'm doing all this here in the camera for you to see, but the rest of it I'll do down on the cabinet, and I don't have very much cabinet space, so it's hard to show you. But you know how to dice. So I'm still waiting on this to come to a boil. So I hope everybody is having a really good weekend. We went to church today, and then we went out and had Mexican for lunch. I had a chimichanga with the white cheese sauce on it, which was very good. And my husband had a chicken and a beef enchilada with rice and beans. and Kaylin had a little bit of everything. Then we came home and took a nap, and now I'm doing a couple videos. Sometimes I try to get a couple of videos ahead because I never know what my week's going to be like, and I always like to try to have something for y'all to watch. So if I can, I try to get something ahead of time just in case. And hopefully this will be boiling here in just a minute. I was going to do this on the counter, but this seems to be working okay. It is pretty hard, so please be careful when you're cutting it, not to cut yourself. This was one of my mom's favorite things to eat. If I see turnip greens, I always think of my mom. She loved them with the turnips. And I wasn't that big of a turnip fan. I loved the greens, but not the turnips till recently. And for some reason, I'm a lot more into vegetables and just eating better. And it's not because I'm trying to eat better, I just happen to like that type of food better now. So I can hear it starting to bubble, so it won't be but just a minute. And we'll get started. And a lot of people eat vinegar on their greens. I don't know if it's different for different areas, but that's how it is for the South. We eat a lot of we eat vinegar on our greens a lot. So this is just about ready to bubble. I think I can go ahead and put the greens in. This is what they look like, all washed up and ready to put in. And these will shrink down to just a little bit of greens after they've cooked. So you don't feel like you have to have a pot as big as the amount of greens you have, because it will shrink down in no time. So I'm going to turn it down because I can hear them bubbling. I just want them to slowly bubble. And I'm putting my plate on here. We're not going to put our turnips in yet, but what we're going to do is just let these simmer at a good, not a real hard simmer, but simmer. Every 15 minutes we're going to stir them around, you know, and get them evened out, and where the you know, they can all get the same amount of heat throughout the cooking time. And when they're just about tender, then we're going to put our turnips on top. We'll mix them in and let them go about 15 minutes more, and that should do it. But when your turnips are done, then after you put them in, they'll be done. So I'll be back when it's time to put the turnips in, and I will see you then in a few minutes. Okay, the greens are about done, so we're going to put the turnips in them. But for the last little while, I've been cooking them with the lid off, because I probably should have went with 4 cups of the chicken broth instead of 5. But that broth is so delicious that I'm glad that I didn't have too much, but you may not want that much. But anyway, the greens are just about done, so I'm going to put these turnips in. And I'm going to stir them around so that they can try to get under the water. And I'm going to put the lid back on it because I'm fine with the extra broth. But if you do not want this much broth, then go with 4 cups or maybe even 3. It just really depends on your taste, but I am telling you that broth is wonderful. So I'll see you back in just a little bit. Bye. Okay, everything is done, and I'm going to plate up all 3 dishes I've made for this little series that I have made 3 videos for the 3 things I made for supper tonight. So all 3 videos will have the same ending, and you'll get to see all the 3 dishes, and then if you like what you see, you can go to the other videos and get those recipes. And the first thing, when I don't have much space, it's hard to show you, but here are the greens. And they turned out wonderfully. The broth is just as good as it gets. Turnips are tender. I'm putting it in my Thomas the Train bowl. And so there are the greens. I'll be back to those in just a minute. Now I'm going to scoop this back. I'm sorry for all this scooting around and stuff, but I just do the best I can do. Here is the cornbread. You can see the cracklings in it. And I'm going to go across. It's hard to cut something round with something square, but here is the cornbread. If you see white in it, that's the sour cream. And there's that. And then I want to bring over the corn pudding casserole dish. And it has sat for a little while waiting on my other food to cook. It's very firm but soft. So there it is. You see it came out clean. The piece I cut came out clean there. Here it is. And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to show you on the plate here. You really need the greens in a bowl because with the broth and everything, it gets mixed into everything. But the way I eat it is I'll take the cornbread and I'll cut it in half, and then I'll take the butter and I'll cut a couple pieces, not too thick, because it's already unhealthy enough. But I'll stick those in, and this cornbread is very tender. Then, in the greens, I'll take the vinegar and put a little bit, not too much. Different people like different amounts, but I get heartburn if I eat too much vinegar. And then on the corn pudding, I'll put just a little salt and pepper. And so that's it. So here it is all together. The corn pudding casserole, the crackling cornbread, and the greens. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and you watch the other two. And I hope that you make some of this, and I hope you enjoy it. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you for watching. It means so much to me. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.